Welcome back to the Martini Works Podcast. We sold Alex, and we got two dudes for him. If you guys want to introduce yourselves, please.
Sure. Well, I'm Harris from the Minnoxide Podcast, and I'm here with my Ford-loving co-host.
I'm Dan with Gun at Garage and Minnoxide.
Awesome.
Welcome, gentlemen.
Yeah, we're stoked to have you guys. An interesting take to have podcast on podcast.
Yeah.
So we're excited to learn a lot about you guys and what you do. You have a lot of really cool episodes. So if you guys haven't checked out Minnoxide, head on over there, give them some love, and check out their episodes. They interview all types of crazy automotive enthusiast shops, performance stuff. It's just crazy. So who are you guys? What do you do? How'd you get started doing this podcast journey?
Well, first of all, it's really weird being on this side of the microphone.
It's crazy.
It's been a couple of years since I've done a podcast, but this all kicked off for me. I mean, it's safe to say Minnoxide started in 2018, which was right around like when I was getting into college. I had nothing going on, bored out of my mind, and I couldn't even have my car on campus. So on the weekends, I tried to take advantage of it and go to car shows. Sure. And I saw these guys were getting like tickets to like the local auto show for free, because they had pages on Instagram. They were like just posting photos. I'm like, I can do that. And I wanted to do it with my brother, but I ended up doing it by myself, doing just a bunch of phone photos, right? Mm-hmm. Then eventually my dad's like, why don't you just do like an actual real camera? We have a real camera sitting over here. So I did that, got into photography, started charging people eventually after doing a bunch of free photo shoots. Got really big into automotive photography for a few years. Then I started running rallies. Much like you guys with RVRR.
Yeah.
So did that with my partner for a while. We did we tried to do the whole 2-day thing, got up to 3 days, rebranded like twice, like just, and then I went out on my own, and then I lost a shit ton of money and decided, can we start on this? Do you guys do the whole thing? Yeah, that's
say
right.
whatever you want.
Oh, I've heard Alex. He's a sailor. Lost a lot of money on that front. But while I was doing the rally on my own, I also wanted to do a podcast. And I wanted to do like the whole, just kind of build a brand thing. So like I'll do a magazine, I'll do a podcast, I'll do events. I wanted to do everything, just anything automotive you could think about. And then when that kind of went sideways, I'm like, I'm going to take a break. And it took about 6 months off or whatever. And I'm like, well, why don't I just do a podcast under the Minnoxide banner? And that's where this was kind of born. I had to find a co-host that filled in those gaps for me. And at the time, it was my buddy Sean, because those gaps were, I'm not very, hands-on with cars, or at least at that point I wasn't.
Sure.
So I needed somebody to fill in that gap while I could fill the tech side, because, I don't know if Dan could run a podcast. I'll let you know how that goes, but... But
I'm good at this part.
the talking part.
Yeah.
But so anyways, Sean and I, did that, and we realized that we wanted to interview guests. So every single week, to this day, I still haven't missed a week ever.
Nice.
Wow.
And
That's huge, actually. That's
like the hardest part.
Yeah.
Consistency.
Yeah, episode drops, 169 drops today, right?
Dang.
So it's like, that was a big thing. And then Sean became a communist and moved to California. That's what I joke. That's what I joke about all the time. But he moved over there, and at that point, I actually had to find a new space because we were using his garage. Guests were coming to us, and then we partnered with Ratified Motorsport, and it was basically like a little. Probably
It was like a storage closet.
Yeah.
It was an office-ish space. Turned that into kind of like a Joe Rogan style booth or whatever. Got a lot of comments about that. I always used to joke that they got sold out of the Theo Von Blue curtains,
Yeah.
Like a Reddit is. But anyways, did 10 episodes solo, some at SEMA. Got lots of awesome introductions. That was my first SEMA as well.
Oh, wow.
Lots of introductions. And then I was like, well, I kind of want to co-host again. Just again, fill those gaps. So here's the funniest thing about all this. I actually wanted Dan to be my first co-host before I went with Sean. Yep. But the problem is Dan was an hour away, and I had zero interest in driving to his place at that point for every single episode.
right, every single week, yeah.
Sean was like 6 minutes away from me, 3 if I'm really speeding, but that was kind of it. So that's how Dan came back on the show, asked him if he'd be interested, and 120 some episodes later, it's like, we're talking to some really awesome people, and we realized that we had to travel because we love interviewing people. Like we started doing more of this like chop it up on the side sort of series, but we truly do get to see like a lot of America and seeing like what people stand for. So I think that kind of brings us up to today.
Dude, that's amazing. Do you have any tips? Because like we went to Gatlinburg recently to a show. We actually had a few people come up to us and be like, how do I start an automotive podcast? Going through all that, is there anything you learned or any tips you'd give to somebody that wanted to start their own podcast?
The biggest thing I'd tell, because like I've helped other friends start brands or pages or whatever, some more successful than mine, but it's like, if you can admit to yourself that you're going to fucking suck at something, that's the first step, because everybody thinks they're going to do it well. You have to be honest with yourself. Like, you're going to suck. And if you can admit that you could suck for the first 10 episodes, minimum, that's what I tell people. Whether it's your first Instagram post, whatever, if you can admit that you're going to suck, then you have a baseline to get better. So that's the first piece of advice I give everyone.
Yeah, for sure. It's like anything else. It takes practice. You got to do it time and time.
Man,
I look back at some of my first videos and like,
oh, it's hard
man.
to watch. Hard to watch. But it's everyone. No one came out the gate swinging with their first video. It's a fact.
Some people do, though, and I've met some of those guys in the industry, and they give me advice too, right? So there's some people that are just like that one-hit wonder right out the gate. I always give props to Street Alpha, because he came out, the Street Alpha podcast, I should specify. I love hanging out with that guy because he's really doing the thing too. And he came out swinging right out the gate. You know, we're talking millions of views right away. And I'm just sitting here thinking, like, what am I doing wrong? And I was comparing, and I'm like, oh, well, I can improve this. Here's what he does. And I hate that phrase that comparison is the thief of joy, because if you're truly honest with yourself, you won't run into that issue. You can just find ways to improve. And that's exactly what I've done. And that's how we got here today.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it. I think it can be bad to do comparison, but if you can
100%.
look at it in a healthy way, there's so much you can learn. I mean, it's an open book out there. Go watch and see what's working, what isn't working. But that's some phenomenal advice. Getting back to maybe more personal life, how'd you guys get into automotive stuff?
Do you want to go first, or?
Sure. I have been just into cars since I was a kid. My dad used to drag race like Camaros and things like that back in the day. Well, sure. We became Ford people, so. And then him and I bought with my uncle an 80 Mustang Cobra.
Okay.
And then it was one of those deals where it just kind of sat around. You know, you go out and you buy a project with your dad, and then it sits in the garage and nobody ever works on it. We also had a couple 69 Mach 1 Mustangs. Again, we got them to a certain point and then sold them off. And then we got into Harleys for a little while because the cars take up too much space. So we rode bikes.
Fair enough.
Then I started having kids, and then the whole bike thing didn't really make sense. So then I got back into cars, and then at this time, work was going really well for me. So I was a huge Fox body guy.
Sure.
So I just started buying up Fox bodies like crazy. I'm telling you, like every $1,500 marketplace Fox body, I was like, I'm on my way.
How many Fox bodies have you owned at one time?
Well, I haven't gotten rid of any of them. They're all still in my house. So, yeah, I am not joking. If you come to my place, there's probably at least 15 of them laying around. If not, like I've kind of lost count at this point. I have a good like 4 or 5 really nice cars, like the ones I keep inside the shed, and then I have parts cars and things like that.
Right.
They're in piles all over the place. At one point in time, I had them at other friends' places, and they were like, "You got to come get your car."
Did you say you have impacted the Fox body economy?
Yes. Yes.
It's a string.
I am the reason now they're $6,000-$7,000 for a piece of shit.
Damn.
Wow.
So then I just started getting into that, and then I remember I was on my way to a car show, and I couldn't. My alternator went out for like the 7th time, and I'm like, I'm on the way, and you got until your battery dies, and then you're sitting and you're waiting, and I'm like, all right, this is crap. So I had just gotten another contract at work, so things were going well. So I told my wife, I was like, I'm gonna buy another car. So I was shopping or whatever. I wanted something newer. And I landed on a 2015 Mustang GT Competition Orange. And I remember posting in a Fox Body forum. I was like, I took a picture of the center console. I was like, look, 25 grand, and now I got cup holders. And then that car, I saw a friend of mine, Paul Rohde from Hudson, Wisconsin. He does Crown all the time. And I saw his car all stickered up. And I'm like, dude, rally. I started Googling and looking in. I'm like, that's what I need. This whole sitting at a car show with a lawn chair and New Balance shoes, like that's not for me. So I said, all right, cool. So I started Googling and trying to figure it out, and I came across RVRR.
Yeah.
And so I did year 2 of RVRR, and I was hooked immediately. Nice. And so then after that, it was a snowball of Whipple the car. That was the very first mod. I was gonna do an NA build, all that stuff. Then you're looking at $2, $3, $4 grand, sometimes even between doing all that stuff. And I'm like, I could just spend an extra $6 and get a Whipple and be good to go.
Heck yeah.
So then I got into modding cars and running rallies, and then it just snowballed into a very expensive, unhealthy relationship with cars.
As this thing tends to do.
Yeah.
I gotta ask, what is it about Fox bodies that just has you infatuated with them?
I'm an 80s, 90s guy. Like I grew up, I was born in 82, so like all through the 90s. My uncle had one and actually let me drive it to high school a couple times. He had like a
gotcha.
91 GT white, all of the cool ground effects that everybody hates now. And I'm just being a Ford guy, and we had those Mach 1s, and I love F-150s. I'm a truck guy too. I've got some diesel trucks and things too. They just
Scratches the itch.
It does. They're still. They're so versatile, and they were kind of like great drag cars right out the gate. Not that I'm a drag racer by any means. They just kind of fundamentally loved by all.
Yeah,
to be honest.
Absolutely. Here's what got you into cars.
Dude, so let's back the bus up for a second. Ooh, I'm already getting the company lingo. Mark will get that one. So my parents are immigrants to this country, right? So they were always working kind of like just regular jobs. But then my dad eventually got into selling cars, and he's been in the dealership industry, I think, about 25 years now, maybe a little bit longer now. But I remember as a kid, I'd always get Hot Wheels.
Yeah.
There's probably a million of them somewhere in the corner over here. Yeah. But I remember I got a PlayStation 2 and Gran Turismo. I think it was Gran Turismo 2 at that point. But the red Viper with the white stripes, or it might have been silver if my memory's flaking on me, but I know it was red and white. And that was just my favorite car at all times. And then obviously I grew up Mopar because my dad's a minority owner at a Dodge dealership now. So it's like, I got to check out, when the Hellcats first came out, I was like, what's that whining sound? That's stupid.
C03 Terminator, and then you can figure out where that came from.
Yeah. Funny enough, actually, I remember my first time in a manual car was actually a Grabber Blue. I think it was a 500 at that time. I think it was like an 08 or 07.
Yeah.
Yeah, funny enough. He's like, hey, watch this. If I let go of the clutch, the car shuts off. So
that's a weird flex.
he's like, show me out, because he was trying to give me
Screw rocking back and forth to the light. Just shut the solid.
I'm gonna have it lunge forward violently and then shut off.
I remember that feeling exactly. It was literally on Canterbury Road. I remember where it was awesome. But and then I've stalled many cars since. But no, it was just kind of always kind of like those video games and all that. And I kind of took a little bit of a break during the middle school years. I got really into Minecraft and making money off servers and all that stuff.
Fair enough.
But then I got back into it. I started hanging around with this Russian kid in middle school. I had to specify, of course. And I heard about cars and coffee and all that. And then I really borderline got really obsessed. And then that brings us up to the story earlier, getting into all that stuff. Right. So, always loved cars though.
That's super dope. So where are you guys at currently? What's your daily driver or your fun car you have now?
I hate it. I hate it so much.
Perfect.
So last October, I think it was, maybe September, I had a Mark 7 GTI at that point.
Okay.
Typical, whatever, IS38 turbo on there, intercool, all the basic mods to make around, to make, 340 wheel, 390 torque, whatever. It was the best car I've ever owned to date. I'm still a youngin'. I'm 26 years old. But what's it called? Love that car. It started to act a little funky, and I'm like, you know what? Let's go let some other 16-year-old deal with this. Threw it up on Marketplace, got the right price for it, and at the same time, I'm trying to work a deal at BMW of Minnetonka to get a Mark 8 GTI. It was the right price, right? It was 6,000 miles, and I think I got it for $29,500. It was a steal of a car. And I loved it at first. It was very updated interior, Audi-esque and all that. It's the worst car ever made.
Yeah?
I agree with you.
It's a 2023.
From the bottom of my soul. We picked up a Mark 8 GTI, and it's been the worst car we've ever owned. Oh my God.
Oh,
Do
no.
you have electrical issues up the ass or what?
Dude, the other day I told him, I'm like, hey, Dan, my entire screen just shut off.
Oh my God. Oh no. I was hoping it was just a fluke.
I was too.
Do your dome lights turn on and off when it gets cold out?
Shut up. I got to tell this story, dude.
Okay.
Last year we're in Detroit, right? And it's middle of winter. I think it was 10, 20 degrees. And all of a sudden the light starts flickering on and off. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on, right? And then like we realized that because the car's cold, we just got into it, and every time our breath would go on it, the lights would turn on and off. Like like
all that haptic stuff.
yeah, the haptic stuff.
Oh yeah.
So like my foggy breath or whatever you call it, like every time we'd breathe, the lights would turn on and off.
My God.
That's a cool feature. Thanks, Volkswagen.
Bouncing down the road.
That's exactly what I want.
The haptics are the worst thing ever. You know what? I'm gonna try to keep it somewhat PG, but the other day I went to go, like this 2 or 3 days ago, I go to back out of my garage and I'm like, all right, it's cold. We're in the Midwest. It's freezing up here. And I'm going to go turn it up, the heat, and it's frozen, and then everything just shuts off. And I'm like, so anyways, I went to go test drive an STI the other day. And after driving it though, the thing is like, I really do love the interior of the Mark 8.
Yes.
It is awesome, except for the haptics and all the electrical nannies and all that. It truly is an amazing car, but it's also so heavy. It's such a pig compared. It's I think 200 pounds heavier than my last car. So that's what I'm in currently.
It's so funny you say that because like the exact same experience when everything's working and it's good. I love the car. It's amazing. It's actually my wife's and she loves it too. But it's so many weird electrical gremlins and they're nonstop. And we've taken it to Volkswagen. I don't even know how many times. And
I should probably do that.
Yeah, well, ours is just about out of warranty too. So it was like we got to get this stuff figured out. It was like the parking sensors were going off. Our SOS light was going off and calling emergency services. And just the other day, even we were just backing out of the garage. And one of the sensors picked up a leaf. I don't know. It slammed on the brakes, like to the point where our seatbelts locked up. For like, and there was nothing. I don't even know what happened.
I can't. Okay, so part of being a car guy is you back into places all the time, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I can't do that, especially if I'm doing groceries and I want back into the garage and like back in at a reasonable pace, just slams on the brakes, gives me whiplash. Like,
It's just a super sensitive system.
It sucks because it could be such a good car, but they like tried to jump too far ahead with it, or
they made
do
it
something
too Audi.
Yeah.
They took the GTI out of the GTI because like, and I love the Audi interior sort of style. It's very bougie. I'm champagne tastes over here. Don't get me wrong. But the problem is, it's just, for example, we went to do our little friends rally, right? I went to go buy some Koenigs, which are the best wheel ever. Trying to get that sponsorship for years now. And I went to go get some hexaforms or whatever because I wanted to have a summer tire for this friends rally. I'm the only cheap car in there. Everybody else is like supercars and all this. And I remember like when I found out that it was a pig is when I went into oncoming traffic, like cut the mustard and everything, dude. And I'm like, this car is not my last car.
Man.
But no, it's got a warranty. It's a daily. That's the whole reason I got that car because growing this podcast, I have to invest everything into it. The travel costs, as you guys know, are not exactly cheap. To put on the show is not cheap. So the toys kind of took a back seat, and it's again more about our guests.
Yeah.
Sure. Plus, Dan lets me drive his shit.
Oh, there you go. What are you driving? Besides 5.
Which day?
What's running?
I've got a 2016 Super Duty 6.7 Power Stroke,
nice.
mild lift, tuned, deleted, all that good stuff. And then I have I had a Lincoln Town Car, which I still have to get rid of, but I also have a 2015 Lincoln Navigator that is my first 3.5 EcoBoost, and that one's fun.
Okay.
The things you can do with a 7,000-pound SUV with twin turbo V6 in it, it's kind of fun. And then as far as for like fun cars, right now I'm mostly driving a 2021 Shelby GT500.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's got a lot of the VMP treatment on it right now. I'm still waiting to pulley down and tune once I can figure out who and how I want it tuned. I've been burned by some tuners before, and I've had with the 2015 we were talking about earlier, I had a couple bad engine experiences that get very expensive.
Yeah.
And the drivetrain on the GT500 is like 25, 30 grand.
Oh,
so
Lord.
I'm trying to not experiment too much
no.
with it.
That's fair.
Understandable.
I just kind of started with this building cars thing, and it's been trial by fire, I feel, some of the times. You kind of learn as you go. And then, sometimes you look back and you're like, oh, I was talking, I don't know if you heard me talking about that fuse earlier that blew in my fuel controller. Stupid little 2-cent mistake, but it's, you learn. Now I'll be checking that from now on. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
But then, we have a whole, my wife drives a 2013 Mustang GT with a Pro Charger on it. Those would be our two main
Well, don't forget about the new daily, which I still don't believe exists.
The Mach-E.
Ooh.
We went electric.
Okay.
I'm telling you, we were traveling around. We're interviewing a lot of these car people, right?
Yeah.
Most of these big time shop owners, things like that, a lot of them are getting these EVs as dailies. First of all, the government is giving them away, or automakers, they're not selling them like they were. The Mach-E, when I first looked at it, was like a $50,000 or $60,000 car. I bought one with 1,200 miles on it, not even a full year old, for $35,000.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, full warranty, bumper to bumper, all that stuff still. So it works great for my wife to get back and forth from work. The one who really sold it to me was Cannonball Garage, Arnie. He's the current Cannonball record holder right now.
Sure.
He got a Silverado, an electric
The
Silverado.
RST or whatever it's
Yeah,
called. Yeah.
When he told me, he's like, it's like a microwave or an appliance. He's like, it just does everything I need. I don't have to worry about it. I turn it on and it does what I need it to do, and I go to whatever. And I was changing. The wife had the Navigator before, and I was changing the oil every month, spending $500-$600 on gas for her to drive an hour to work.
Yep.
And now I plug it in. She goes to work. I never think about the car. It just goes where it's supposed to go.
That's it.
Sure.
She's not paying for gas. It costs me like $25 a month to charge it in my garage, and I never have to think about it again.
Fair enough.
So that was what really sold it on me.
You can still use the Navigator. Actually, it never dawned on
I'm
me.
driving the Navigator for whenever, but I don't hardly get
But you
around.
have
We
two of
normally.
them.
No, that's my dad's. Well, I'm sorry. I do have two Navigators.
Losing track.
Well, I had to
It's in between the 10
So I do a lot of salvage vehicles.
Okay.
Even my GT500, I bought it, body work all done already. Still needs paint, but it's wrapped right now. At the time, the car was $125,000. I paid $70,000 for it.
Damn.
So, and I track my cars. I beat the living hell out of them, and I didn't want to do that with a $125,000 car.
That's fair.
So, the Navigator is the same way. I bought it off auction, and I put a new front end. So I had to buy a parts truck to fix the other truck. And then the parts cars never leave my yard. My neighbors hate me. It's bad.
Yeah.
I have my own junkyard for sure.
Interesting. It's cool to hear though, like someone that's into power, into tracking, into racing, doing that kind of stuff, but being open to an EV and then trying it out.
Dude, we see that so much.
many people are so
crazy.
standoffish
I know.
about them, and it's like, I mean,
You can't be a car guy and an EV owner. It seems like it's not a thing.
Yeah, exactly. But I think they do have their place, and it's impressive some of the tech that's gone into them. What's your thoughts on the Mach-E holding the Mustang nameplate?
That bothers me a little bit.
Sure.
But I think just from some of the people we've talked to, like I said, I kind of would. So they were doing this thing with the OEMs where, like with the gas guzzler taxes and stuff, and then they had to for some of these things to do like the Hellcat and the GT500, right? They have to get credits from the government for emission stuff. Well, I think by giving the Mach-E a Mustang name, it helps offset the V8s and the supercharged V8s,
I
right?
think it was something like that. Maybe double check that one, folks. But
I don't know for sure.
It would make
This is my theory, and my theory
It would
only.
make me feel better.
But otherwise,
Not
no.
all horrible.
Yeah, it could have been an Escape, or it could have been the Maverick instead of that weird truck that is the Maverick. Again,
I do like the Maverick. Dude, here's the other thing when it
get a
comes.
Ranger over a Maverick though.
Dude,
This looks weird to me.
We've noticed the more horsepower guys are accustomed to, like the big shops, the more luxuries guys have, the cheaper and easy stuff is so much more appealing to them. So again, fast guys for some reason are loving the EVs right now because it's just the appliance you plug in.
Yep.
Like freaking Calvo.
Who's not working on their 1,000 horsepower car constantly? Like they're broken all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of get it though. It's like you said, it's like, these owners of these shops, the guys that are constantly fixing shit and working on shit, they just want something that they don't have to worry about it. But like you said, you're like, I'm not doing a damn oil change every month anymore. I'm not paying. It's like, it just works. I'm fixing everything else all the time. I just want something that works. That totally makes sense where they come in.
For sure.
But then you get a Marquez GTI and then that plan goes down too.
Man, it's nice knowing there's someone else out there going through that, but it's also horrible to know that because I was just hoping these issues would be fixed and it'd be good.
From what you're telling me, I should sell mine yesterday.
Yeah, well, that's how I'm feeling now too. But cool, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. Are you guys looking to get the homie hookup this Black Friday on car parts? Of course you are. We all are. We all want the best deals, so that's why you go on over to Martini Works. We have a ton of deals on wheels. I sound like a car salesman, but I'm not selling you a car. Let me look here. I had to pull up a sheet because we have so many different deals right now. So Kansai, we have up to 40% off, and then an exclusive deal you can only get at Martini Works, which is free gel center caps, which is a really sick upgrade that's over $100 in value that you guys get. If you haven't seen Kansai's gel center caps, take a look because they look phenomenal. They'll change the look of the wheels, and we're throwing them in for free when you pick up a set of 4. Additionally, we have 1552 up to 35% off. We have a deal on Koenig wheels and Koenig forged, which is up to 35% off. So now is a fantastic time to get a set of wheels if you've been looking. These deals are live right now. We even have a quest log so you guys can go on there and it feels like you're playing a game, all right? You can go through, tap the settings, find and track which deals you want, and then unlock some rewards. So head on over to MartiniWorks.com and back to the podcast. All right, welcome back. Now I am interested, you guys. It seems like you're into the power function side of things. What's your take on stance cars?
Oh, he's gonna come right out the gate with that.
Yep.
I'd like to think. Well, I'd love to hear your take. Actually, this has got me interested. But here's the thing. That's what I was always interested in, right? Like I was always just like wheels, coilovers, like, and I think that really makes or breaks a car. Mm-hmm. We've had some VIP car guys on the show before, and we learned a lot about that scene. And it's super cool. Basically, anything that requires a lot of effort, I think me and Dan both agree on this, hopefully, that we can respect it, right? But then it starts getting goofy. Like, who's that guy that burned down? It was an RX-8.
Stancy pants.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's.
I think the name says it all.
Is he still with us?
I don't. He's doing his own thing.
Yeah,
he's just out there vibing.
Doing whatever.
But the point being, it's like that's where, like, again, like I've seen like where those kind of cars can have a lot of effort, and I can respect it. Like, if that's what makes you happy, cool. As long as you're not on the speed bump in front of me, making my life a living hell, cool, whatever. I've even had stance guys reach out to be on the show before.
Yeah.
Personally, it's just not what we're interested in. Mm-hmm. And we've kind of strayed away from the show car people on our show. Not that there's anything against them. I love you guys.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just not what I just talk to whoever I'm interested in at the time.
Sure.
So
Totally fair.
Dan, what you thinking?
it fucking sucks.
Hey, I mean, if that's what you know.
Yeah.
Again, like, I think some of them look really cool. Mm-hmm. I think some of them look really ridiculous. Like, you went way too far with it. I'm a kind of I like things clean. So like things that are overly modified, especially when it comes to looks and things. Like, I don't need it to look like you just went to O'Reilly's and bought everything with double-sided sticky tape. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
So,
agree with that.
It's okay. And again, anybody who's in this car industry, I'm cool with. Like, I appreciate all of it, but I prefer to do things with the cars that some of them they're built for.
Yeah.
For me, it's getting the adrenaline rush. Like, I do a lot of track days and things like that when I can, but the adrenaline and the stuff I get when I come off of, like a 30-minute session at Road America is I can't even repeat it. I mean, it's.
I'll tell you how you could repeat it. You get a stance car and go over a speed bump. Same adrenaline.
Crazy adrenaline.
Freaking out.
I've been on a rallies
your
with
$20,000 wheels. And
Well, yeah,
hope that
that's
you don't hit them on
crazy to
anything.
And then
That's an adrenaline rush.
the rubber is stretched out to the edges. So I was on a rally with somebody one time, and they were like, they got a flat tire, and they were calling around to like discount tire, and I was like, they can't help you. You're gonna bring that in and be like, I have an 84-inch wide rim, and I'd like you to put a 2-inch tire on it, please. They're gonna go, no way, get out of here. So
you got to know a guy.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I felt so bad for her on that one. That was a tough one. I think they actually called Alex on that one. We'll not
It
get
was
too
during
into it.
RVRR. I wasn't gonna call her out, but thanks for bringing it all up. Yeah.
Oh, as if you gave enough details.
It just I think some look really cool. I think some, like, this car is styled like something that could be, I would look at it and be like, that'd be cool stance style. But there's some that body lines and things like that doesn't need to be that way.
Well, actually, here's a question for you guys. Okay, so what defines stance, right? Like, what, like, is it just basically like, all right, good wheels and blah blah blah, or like,
I think in the sense of that question, it was more so the like more cambered out.
Sure.
It needs
show
to look like
car
there's a tie
aesthetic.
rod broken and your tires. Yes, that stance, right?
Looks like someone stepped on it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
In the more broad term of things, I mean, you can have functional stance, you could have a meaty stance too. So you could go that way with it. But in the essence of that question, I was definitely leaning more towards the car show side of things, and fender to lip type fitment or cambered out.
Yeah, the
cars.
stretch tire. Yeah.
Yeah, I was really into it. I really enjoyed it. I would say like as I got older, I stepped away from it a little bit more, but I still appreciate it so much because I was into it. And like you guys said, which I really appreciate too, is like, it might not be my style, might not be my thing, but if you did it properly,
There's levels to it, is how I see
You
it.
put the effort in it. Yeah.
because I mean, it's like anything, right? If there's so many different sides of the car scene and where you can go with it and what avenues you take, and from like mini truckers to lowriders to car show cars to crazy drag builds, like each one spends just an insane amount of money and time in their craft and what they do. So I've always really I don't know, I haven't been picky. I don't see myself in one corner of the car scene. I kind of I'm broad in it. I enjoy all of it. But
Well, you brought up mini trucks there. So the episode we're dropping today, actually, it's like Patience Metal Fab. Like they got their start in mini trucks, right? And like when they were because I never pushed harder on the questions on that until this last episode, but I was like, what goes into that? And they're like explaining what goes into a mini truck, and they're like, yeah, there's a lot of like big names in the industry that got their start in that scene, because it's not easy to have a pretty badass mini truck apparently.
yeah, no, not at all. It's funny you brought that up too. Like that was one scene I never really understood. I was never into, and then I had a couple of friends who were in it, and I met just through the car scene, and caught myself a few late nights at the garage hanging out with them and seeing what they did and what they put in. Now I love them.
Yeah,
I got to see,
there was something about the mentality of like, oh, I'll just make the frame myself. That is like,
You're not just putting on coilovers and doing a few things.
It's like, what do you mean you're just gonna try it? Like, like, yeah, we'll figure it out. Like, holy shit!
Literally every centimeter of the vehicle is custom. It's touched. It's changed, and it was like, wow, I didn't realize that. Looking into it.
So is that technically stance? I guess it
I
would
would say
be,
that's
right?
stance. Yeah.
It's a form of it. Yeah,
a form of it. It's definitely broad. I do think there are some very poorly stanced cars out there.
100%.
Trash. Just
like I said, it comes back to like
builds,
that whole effort thing, right? It's like I know people who have a lot of camber on their cars, like really stretched tire, really low, but it's like the suspension that they put on it, the time that they put in to figure out what wheel specs they needed to run this amount of camber, like the tire sizing to be able to get the car to actually track straight going, with that type of fitment and everything like that, spending all that money, all that time, all that effort versus someone just being like, oh, I just took the springs out.
which was a real conversation we had at
literally.
Gatlinburg.
It's like, and it's like, oh, I don't care that the bumpers all beat to shit. I'll just spray paint it back to a different, kind of somewhat similar color. It's
Now
like,
you sound like a drifter.
But that's the same.
Yes.
That's the same thing. There's low effort, and then I know guys that take so much pride that they get one rock chip and they're taking the car apart and learning how to paint and going all into that. So it's just
coming back to the Volkswagen conversation. Get into the Mark IV era again.
Yeah, those guys
literally
go nuts with their car build.
Sealing every single hole from factory and everything, dude. It's nuts.
Absolutely. So leading into that, like kind of overbuilding, underbuilding, what do you guys think is like a good power level for like a daily driver? When do you think it's overkill, and where do you think like the sweet spot is?
I don't know. I don't think there's anything wrong with a 1,000 horsepower Mach-E. It's electric, baby. It does what it needs.
It pulls as hard as my GT500 does.
That's crazy.
Yeah, all the way up to about 95, and then it's like, okay, this sucks.
See ya.
The GT500 will hit 190, and you won't even know it. But yeah, no, it's fun.
I think it depends on the car too, right? Like, if you have like just a NA 600 horsepower Corvette, like, you're probably fine. But then you start getting into something nasty, and it's like, what can you deal with, right? Like what I can deal with, I'm 26, I can deal with a lot. But then like, some guys, they just don't have that ability to take the abuse either.
Sure.
Also, here's the other thing. I don't think horsepower really has much of an impact most of the time, especially when it comes to like turbo cars, right? Like it's like, you're not always at 2,000 horsepower on the street.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I literally had a friend, he put, 20,000 miles on his 2,000 horsepower Nth Moto Viper. And like,
Nth Moto Vipers are in their own class, though. Of
That is its own class. But he drove it from Minnesota down to Oklahoma and back.
Damn.
No problems whatsoever. He took people for rides down in Oklahoma. Like, it's possible to daily drive a high power car because you're not always at, max RPM.
Yeah. Just because, it can do that doesn't mean that it's doing that.
And I
all
will
the
do
time.
that.
Yeah, if you're responsible enough with all that
Yeah,
power,
right.
that's the tricky part. What I've found too, like as I've aged as a car enthusiast, is recognizing like my limits too. It's like,
Sure.
I think I get to a certain horsepower in a car, and it's like, well, I can't even push this, to the slightest. And I've found that like I can be just as happy in like a stock Honda S2000 and ripping that in the back roads and have as many smiles on my face as like driving a twin turbo 1,000 horsepower Audi R8, depending on the situation. Because
What about a stock Mark 8 GTI? How does that? Are you still happy?
that makes me cry a lot and stay up at night wondering where I went wrong. It's so funny. And we're getting back on that, but it's like I've had I say good luck with Volkswagens, but they really just all have their problems. But you pick
All
and
roads
choose
of
which
misery
ones.
lead back to Volkswagen.
Some of them you can cope with. Yeah.
Electrical gremlins probably are the worst issues you could have in a car. I'd say like you're just chasing stuff. Like the whole parking sensor thing on the front bumper was fixed by replacing the shark fin antenna on the roof.
Jesus Christ.
What? Yeah, they told us that. I was like, please don't do that. Like, I don't want to be back here for the 8th time. We know that's not going to fix it.
They're like, it's in the instruction book.
Yeah, yeah, and they're like, we have to go through it. It's procedure, so just let us do it. Oh my God, okay, it's under warranty, so go ahead, try.
We replaced your right license plate screw, and
Yes.
we think that's going to be fine. Yeah,
Literally.
But it worked.
Yeah.
It did. So it's like, I don't even, and like, I never would have found that. That's
No.
insane. I wouldn't have even thought to try that. So yeah, that's not fun. That's not a good time. But yeah, it's just interesting. It's cool to hear the wide variety that the Mach E is pulling, similar to.
So it's 0 to 60 is like 0.3 of a second off of what the GT500 is. So, but again, the Mach E is all-wheel drive everything. So like I slip a little bit when I
the
get
perfect
going.
car.
But it all depends on what it is when we're talking horsepower too, right? Because like, would I get in a 800 to 1,000 horsepower Mustang and feel pretty good all day long as far as reliability goes? Pretty good, as
Especially if
long as
it's got like
you're
an
putting the right fuel in
ESS
it.
on it or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But would I get in a 1,000 horsepower Subaru and think that was going to live like more than a couple drives around the block? Probably not.
Yeah.
So like, how much do you want to punish yourself depending on what you're driving?
Yeah.
That's
Absolutely.
funny, brother. We were watching before you guys came. We seen it was one of the shorts you guys did on
my God.
the Subaru powered helicopter.
Yeah.
That shit blew my mind.
Insanity
Yeah, no.
you have to be to,
You're literally like,
No.
you won't find me anywhere near
No.
a helicopter with a Subaru engine in it.
I mean, they have a bad rap. I'm sorry, but
Both of those things have terrible reputations.
yes, yeah.
But that's the crazy thing. So I did a bunch of research on it, and like a ton of planes and helicopters have Subaru engines in them.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
It's a lot of like,
Most ones. I'm gonna write those
Most
ones
of them
down.
are like a flat,
you know that 737 in the bottom of the Pacific? That one.
That
was-
with
that
it
was an
being
insane-
balanced, right? Like I mean, the whole thing with boxer engines, right? It's meant to be smoother, right? Or no?
What are your thoughts
like
on the sound?
scooters.
I love the sound of a boxer.
I enjoy it. I like how the Subarus sound.
It's the best sounding four banger.
I had a FRS for quite a while, and that was like my first like new car that like I modified and did stuff to, and I remember putting the exhaust on it for the first time, and I did like the whole like unequal length header and everything like that.
yep.
Really Subaru'd it up,
Yeah.
because it had the FA20 in it, and I loved it. I was like, this is the best sounding car ever.
They sound good. I think they sound good. I don't have a hate towards Subarus. I just don't want to own one. And I'm happy to see others
Yes.
have fun with them. They can have their fun.
It's
with
just the track record.
them. isn't fantastic.
No,
Would you
it's not.
Have you guys had any besides the Mark 8 GTI? Any nightmare cars or any cars that have just been trouble to you?
I had a Chevy Silverado that I absolutely hated.
The one Chevy you had, or what?
I do have a Beretta. I have a 94 Beretta Z28.
Oh, cool.
Z26. I don't know. I'm not a GM guy, but I had a Beretta Indianapolis 500 pace car in high school, a 90.
Yeah.
And I did like that car a lot. So I have another one, although it's at a shop and it's been there for like 2 or 3 years. And he was supposed to just do an engine replacement, and I keep getting to run around, and I don't know what I'm going to do there.
Oh man.
I've owned one Chevy and it blew up. It was an Equinox.
Well, I have a friend of mine that's got a 2019, 2020. He just called me the other day and he's like, "Hey man, 126,000 miles. I need a new engine." I'm like, "Why?"
Yeah.
Well, it's that DOD delete, the cylinder, where they shut off half the cylinders. It's a horrible, horrible thing. That Chevy 5.3 is known to be a pretty reliable engine, right? Like you can see one at 300,000 miles, no problem. But now we're just going to shut off half the cylinders while you're cruising down the highway. That seems like a really good idea. So now they become where they get oiling problems, and then the engines blow up before you get to 140. We've got another friend in the same group, and he's got a Gen 1 Coyote F-150 with like almost 300,000 miles on it. Not any issues.
Yeah.
So there's just things that some people do sometimes that you're like, all right. and most of the Chevys I've owned were from that like 05 to like 2010 era when they were getting bailouts and things, and I think they were cutting corners and all of the buttons were rubbing off and all the plastics on the inside, and I just don't think they had the fit and finish or the look that I get.
But Dan does have a C8 ZR1 allocation. No, King. But
I was like, wait a minute, hold on.
I want to drive one. I don't hate, like, I choose to give GM guys shit just because that's the, like, if you can't poke fun. Yeah, exactly.
It's the rivalry.
Yeah.
But, would I drive a C7 Z06 around and probably have a really good time? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But it's, I got to choose one to pick on. That's the one. Yeah.
That's fair enough.
and I'm just sitting here in the middle of Mopar, just chilling.
Mopar.
Not a part of this dumb rivalry.
You're saying big Mopar guy into that, and then how'd you end up in Volkswagen? What?
So actually, that's kind of a funny story. So when I got my Mark 7 GTI, so let's see, I was leasing a Gladiator at the time, and I was coming up on my mileage or whatever, and I was like, I want to get rid of this thing. Was it? No. Yeah, Cherokee and Gladiator. Dude, by the way, the Cherokee Trailhawk I had was one of the best cars I ever had.
Really?
I loved that thing. Dude, I was a demon in that car.
You mean with the red tow hooks?
Yeah, the red tow hooks.
Yeah,
The
okay,
red
okay.
tow hooks. Yeah. Dude, one of the best cars I ever had. Then in the Gladiator, I was getting rid of that. So anyways, somebody traded in a S4 at my dad's dealership. I think it was like a 2011 or 12, and I heard good things kind of about that sort of era. It had like an APR tune and all that stuff on it, which I was a little hesitant on. So I hit up my buddy Kyle at the time, and I'm like, "Hey, what are your thoughts on this?" He's like, "It's all right. I probably wouldn't go for it or whatever." And I was like, and there's other reasons I didn't go for that car.
Yep.
Guy was a murderer. But apparently, allegedly, that's what I heard.
That's wild. Okay.
I didn't ask for any details.
By the way, if you're a murderer and you have a car to sell cheap, I will buy it. I don't care who you are, what you got. Yeah. I have no self-respect when it comes to that.
I'll continue on that story in a second, but talk to some detailers who do hazmat.
No.
I can't imagine.
I've heard stories.
That's got to be the worst job in the world.
But anyways, that's disgusting. So anyways, I asked Kyle, I'm like, "Hey, would you ever sell your GTI?" Because I drove it a year prior for my series I was doing at the time. I can't remember what it was called. Basically, where I would just go test drive people's cars and review them or whatever. And at that point, I was making, about 100 horsepower less or whatever. And I liked the car at the time, almost put it in a tree. But I asked him, like, "Would you ever sell it?" He's like, "No, but, whatever." 3 weeks later, he gets back to me. He's like, "So what's your offer?" I'm like, "What do you want to sell it for?" Got it for a good price. It was a little bit COVID inflated, but I managed to talk him down. Got the Koenigs included.
Nice.
Sponsor me, Koenig. Are they behind me? Oh, they're behind Alex's shirts over here. What's it called? Yeah, and then that's how I ended up in that car.
Okay, interesting. So, would you consider a Dodge, or is there a reason you?
Oh yeah, no. So okay, I'm really glad
His
you.
list changes every day.
I get that. I'm that way too.
That's the sickening part about what we do, right? Is every time we leave a podcast, me and Dan are like, "So we're buying one of those, right?"
I'm like literally on Marketplace before I leave the chair sometimes.
I can only imagine, dude. Like, you get to know like things that you've never even heard
Especially
of or like
off-camera
seen
stuff,
before.
too.
Oh yeah,
when they tell you the real truth.
really cool.
It was like that. Like Alex would make videos, and I used to edit his videos in the past. And by the time I was done editing the video of him explaining about a certain car make and model, I was like,
This is my dream
I
car.
want to buy it.
Yeah, I'm like,
This is me now.
searching up how much these things actually going for.
I still, and I'll get back to your Dodge question.
Yeah.
I still really, really want, and maybe Dan agrees with this, I still want to get like an E36, E46, and EcoBoost swap it.
Ooh.
Because we had GemSport on. They're near Detroit, and that's what they're known for is EcoBoost swaps. And they are amazing in like throwing into an E36 or 46.
Dude, I've seen so many EcoBoost swaps lately. They're crazy.
So you should listen to that episode if it interests you at all, because the reason is the RBs and the 2Js, all that stuff is crazy. You can pick up an
expensive.
$800 EcoBoost.
Well, it's I have a S13, and it's like I've been seeing on Facebook and everything, and the Instagrams, and everyone's like, yeah.
So do you follow Josh Esty then?
What's that?
Do you follow Josh Esty on Instagram? Yeah. So EcoBoost swapped S13.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's like, SRs are getting expensive. It's like KAs are, they're KAs. Like they can be decent, but it's like, EcoBoost came in fucking everything. You can go get them for dirt cheap, and it's already a boosted platform.
Any O'Reilly's and grab a gasket, a part, a piece. Yeah.
Interesting. That I mean, it totally makes sense.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that. I didn't realize everybody's EcoBoost swapping everything, but it does make sense as you say it.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? I'd like to hear your thoughts. Being a big Mustang guy and enjoying them, the EcoBoost platform, it was kind of controversial. A lot of people were upset with the 4-cylinder turbo Mustangs. It needs a V8. It's American. What's your thoughts on that?
So I also kind of respect the tuner aspect of things. Like I'm a big V8 guy, but I also before I got the GT500, I was shopping for a Focus RS.
Nice.
So I wanted something. I've been driving these big, heavy cars for a long time, and I was like, dude, I want to just like turn the wheel and have the car go without me having to muscle it. It'd be kind of fun. So I don't mind. I have a wrecked EcoBoost Mustang at the house right now, again in the junkyard.
I feel like every question we ask, it leads to a new car that's in the stable.
Yeah, I do have one of those actually.
I love it.
I have an 88 Thunderbird Turbo Coupe that came 2.3 turbo from the factory in 88. It's a big, giant, iron block, shitty turbo, like 190 horsepower deal. But I'm like, it's going to get EcoBoost swapped. So that's why I have the car.
So rather than buying an engine like a normal person, he buys an entire wrecked car.
I'm a big Copart guy, by the way. I love Copart sponsor me.
That's awesome. Man, yeah, EcoBoost and E46.
I thought the same thing, though. Like, when I was going into that podcast, I was like, so how I met that guy was through, I don't know if you guys ever saw that Cybertruck that went viral a few years ago that hit a Corvette at Woodward, but it's basically
it was a pre-runner
Cybertruck, right?
Oh, no, I did not see that.
Because of that guy, we got to meet the guy behind Gem Sport, and I'm like, EcoBoost, like, what the okay, damn, let's go learn about this, I guess. Because that's our approach for our podcast. Like, we want to learn by the end of it, or have a great time. Sometimes they mix. And we were just like, wow, this is like a really legit platform. Because like that drift car, Josh Esty, it's like, he's done probably a few hundred runs. And, drift cars probably beat the car more than any other application, I imagine. So, I'm sold on that.
We said it can take like 300 pounds out of the front end, too.
Wow.
Yeah. I think it was 200-300 pounds, something like that. I think, it's legit, right? Yeah. They were debating the Ecotech platform, but the problem is I think the EcoBoost came out just slightly cheaper. I think it was. I think that's why I did. I don't know. Listen to the episode. But to answer your Dodge question, though, 100%. And I think people who are nagging on the new Hurricane don't know anything, because I think it's going to be as good as the S58, because you're talking about, I think it has a forged crank in it, has all these like forged parts, like just, it has high-end parts in it. Now the EV, actually, me and my brother both considered getting the EV one because the lease deals were insane.
They were. I
heard you talk about it. Yeah.
They were nuts. Yeah.
Yeah.
We were driving by and we're like, that was not the right price.
Like there's no way that's real. But they're doing it.
They're giving away EVs.
They are.
I mean,
Well,
crazy.
you say that, and I have a follow-up question for you, sir. So we looked into it, and my brother even entertained the idea of the Wagoneer S, which is an awesome EV. It was a badass Jeep or whatever, but when he went to go call insurance, though, even though the lease would have been like, I think $299 or whatever a month, dirt cheap for a $70,000 car almost, the insurance, I think, was like $600 a month.
Ooh, what?
Yeah, $600 a month. Now, granted, my brother's a youngin'. He's 5 years younger than me, right?
Okay.
So, but either way, it's like, I mean, to be fair, from the insurance company's perspective, you're going to put a 20-year-old in a 600 horsepower EV. So I get it. But at the same time, it's like, all right, cool. The car's cheap, but now the insurance is through the roof if they even take you. But if things go well, I would strongly consider pre-ordering one, even. The new Hurricane powered Charger, I'm calling it a Daytona, Scat 6-pack or whatever. Because I think the tuning on those is going to be insane. Too bad it's such a heavy pick of a car.
Yeah.
I would love a Dodge Viper, as anybody would.
Right.
You know, being Nth Moto used to be right in my backyard, right? So I would literally hear those cars allegedly in Mexico. And also, my neighbor was Ratified Motorsports. So I would occasionally hear a 1,000 horsepower RS3. So
Oh my goodness.
yeah, just all these V10 sounding cars.
Yeah.
I think, and also, I don't know, guys. Seriously, look into the new 4-cylinder that Stellantis is about to put out.
Okay.
It might, again, it's too early to tell, but it could kind of be. It's something to look out for.
Okay. Yeah.
It's derived from the Hurricane. I don't know.
Interesting.
I'm just mumbling at this point.
No, I like it. I like hearing all that. But we don't talk about Mopars too much.
No, we never get to
I don't
talk
blame
about,
you. There's nothing to talk about lately.
Domestic stuff. Yeah.
It's just like all of our, I feel like most of our friend group, it's just like all these imports.
Yeah.
That's
It's
basically what we do.
BMW. It's Honda.
Except
It's
Dustin's wife. She has an EcoBoost, and she's really liked it.
Yeah.
EcoBoost Mustang, and that's treated her well. But cool. We'll take a quick, short little break, and we'll be right back with you guys.
just like Santa, I've made a list and checked it twice. And on the naughty list are all of you who have bunk fitment. Good news is that we have some killer deals on aftermarket suspension right now. Get the homie hookup at Martini Works on a new set of coilovers or even air suspension for your car so you can help dial in that fitment a little bit more. I'm talking 15% off Fortune Auto right now. That's a huge saving on a really, really nice coilover system. If you want to go the air route, Airlift right now is probably the best time to buy 20% off 3P and 3H management systems, which again is a killer deal and a lot of money off a pretty pricey component for your car. So really good time to snag some suspension for your car. And if you're trying to just dial in that feel a little bit more than your fitment, 25% off white line suspension components right now too. So things like sway bars, end links, all that sort of stuff. Again, get the homie hookup on your suspension this year, MartiniWorks.com.
All right, so I want to know what the future looks like for you guys for Minnoxide. What's your goals?
That's the problem is I hate talking about my goals online when it comes to, like, you know, my Instagram story. I'm gonna get this car next year, and then people because then people call me a liar.
Hey, you said this one time that you were going to do this.
We're just figuring it out as we go along, so it's not.
We talked about how our search changes every week for what cars we want. Yeah, that's why we don't say anything.
Goals too.
Yeah, I almost got a Supra off auction actually. This is before I got shit canned from that job. I was actually looking at getting one off of auction, and I think it was like 45 or 50 at the time. I'm like,
Not the same kind of auctions I shop.
no, like Menheim and stuff.
Okay, gotcha.
yeah, like not a Copart auction.
A little bit different.
Not the dent and ding sale.
And I almost put the trigger on one. I think it had like work wheels on them or something. I was like, it was nice. And then I'm, got shit canned.
Yeah.
But anyways, point being, I do have some plans with this. For example, we have this booth at PRI next month. We're going to have 16 guests. We got suckered into a 16th. And some really big names and all that. And that's kind of like me swinging for the fences. Like, where are the biggest names in the industry? PRI.
Yeah,
right. I respect SEMA, but PRI is owned by SEMA. So it's like, that's performance oriented, and that's mostly what our podcast is.
Right.
So that we do want to start the whole build side of our channel. Like, we always hear other people's stories. And granted, Dan's been building cars forever, but like, I want to start that chapter of my life. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's kind of where we see that going, is probably just a lot of cool episodes next year. And hopefully getting into the build side of things.
That'd be super cool. Well, you don't have to, if you guys got something in the works.
Two
you don't have to
ideas.
Tell me.
Oh, yeah,
but it's like, what would you guys do? Like, what kind of car would you guys do?
Do you want me to start with yours or
Because
mine?
we're using my shop. And,
You got like one of
cars
15
that I have laying around.
One of
It's going to
15
be a
Fox
Ford.
models.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know. It makes me talk about it. I've had a 93 Cobra laying around for a long time. I bought it as a roller. Somebody had drag raced it before, so it's got a scatter shield in where the transmission tunnel is. The rear end has got everything braced and welded in nice. Like, somebody did a really nice job. And so I've been trying to figure out, I was going to coyote swap it. And I had a motor ready to go, and then I blew up another engine in another car. So I took that engine and put it in there instead. So then it's just kind of been sitting there, and I just put a deposit down on another salvage car 2 days ago.
2 days ago, yeah.
And so I'm picking up a 2007 GT500 with low miles. So that's a 5.4 supercharged, 500 horsepower, 485 foot-pounds of torque. stock.
Dang.
Jesus.
So that's gonna get transplanted into the Fox body.
Damn. Okay.
It's a way lighter car.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
So it'll be, well, not to mention that's just where this starts. I mean, they came factory forged internals, all that stuff. So you can turn
They're
them
ready
up
to go.
pretty easy.
Yeah.
Pulley down, swap the blower out, and you're cooking with gas. Now, it's it's gonna be it's an SVT still car, so I think it's gonna be cool. We're gonna transfer over the seats,
Oh, nice.
all that stuff. So I just when I saw the whole car package and I had this idea, I was like, you know what, I think this would be a lot better than just
It
trying
made
to
sense.
source a drivetrain.
Oh, well, but after I stopped laughing, I was like, all right, this actually would be really cool. Because I was like, what are you going to do with this? And then he said he was going to put it in a Cobra. I'm like, okay, so one of the 3 Cobras actually gets to run again. Actually, no, did the other 2 run?
The other 2 are fine, yeah.
Yeah. But no, that's I'm excited for that one. It just makes sense for what we do. And
Yeah.
that'd be a fun one to take on a drag and drive. I'm not sure if you guys even, do you guys know what drag and drives are?
I've heard of them, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Basically like road rallies, but for performance guys.
Yeah.
Compete at the track and all
To
that
be
stuff.
fair, some road rallies are still got performance guys. This is drag specific. You know, you're going
Well, it's more competitive.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Right.
But no, I think that's gonna be a cool build. I'm really chomping at it. I want to do a GR86.
Okay.
Yeah, and that again, I want to do that off a Copart because they're only like 10 grand on there. Find one that's like hail damage or something.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a track car anyway. So
Yeah.
we'll see. That's the ideal goal. But again, things change all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with the show. We talked to some like the E46 thing never would have even dawned on me last
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
So who knows? But hopefully this
That
is
really
gonna be a year
intrigues
for
me
them.
too. I'll get another EcoBoost motor if you want. We'll go for
Yeah,
that.
you
route.
get the EcoBoost. It's like what $2,000 for a crap one. It's like if you're gonna.
I
Drift
do love
or
me a
something.
'90s BMW. Like I don't know what it is about them, but that does
Same.
turn my crank.
We just love everything, dude. Like
Yeah.
that's the problem is like we can enjoy most things. Like even Dan, like I remember we did a podcast in Chevy seats and he's like, this is really comfortable.
I will say I'll share the track. Like we've met a lot of people that drive some high horsepower, nice cars, and they track them and stuff. But I'll share the track with Miatas. Nobody's ever driven a Miata and told me that they hated it.
Yeah.
Whether you have a cool car or not.
Right.
I want one of those.
But I'm not really sure what Honda Fits are doing out there. I just want to know.
Hey, come on
Careful
now.
now.
Yeah.
Careful now.
I don't know. I mean, is there a thing with them? I
Oh,
just
100%.
Oh, yeah.
Huge
I don't know.
community.
I
100%.
guess I don't see the allure, but that's
They're
fine.
basically like the modern day like EG hatch.
Oh,
like,
really?
Yeah,
Okay.
like they're just
It's kind of like what you're saying. Like you can go to a local parts store, get any
Yeah.
part you need, easy to fix, cheap to get into. You can beat the piss out of them consistently, and nothing's gonna go wrong.
Yeah.
You know, it's gonna take all of your
Alright.
abuse, and you can get into it super cheap. That's the allure of it, and I think it's kind of like,
the whole
it's
to be,
quirky,
fa-
it's
to,
funny.
to be fair, it was like we had the same. I remember we went to VIR. We were down there for an event, and
boy.
there was Honda Fits fucking
And we're like,
everywhere.
what
and
the
we're like,
hell is this?
like, what is going on? And they're like, guys, there's something about these cars, man. They're just it. They're like the great, just like entryway
Yeah.
into racing. And then they're like, and then I can drive to work in it.
You can get like 38 mpg.
Yeah, pick up groceries on the way home.
It is a little when I'm in a GT500 with 760 horsepower and I've got my helmet on,
come
and my
up quick, huh?
gloves, and I'm like, I'm a race car driver, and I fly by a Honda Fit and I go, what in the hell just happened?
I can't.
What are we doing out here?
I can't brag about that.
Are those a new Miata then?
Like the front wheel
It
drive.
almost feels like
Yeah.
that
Really?
in a way. Yeah, front wheel drive. Right.
But for like the same purpose, though, right?
Yeah,
Like
entry level.
Same
it used-
idea
Yeah,
with
it used
it.
to be easy to get into, like cheap parts everywhere. There's a ton of them. Yeah, it's just another.
They do have a
entry-level
dedicated
platform.
community.
Yeah, it's a huge community. Yeah.
Charlie has one, I think.
Yeah. Does his have mud flaps on it?
Yeah, they're good cars. So with the Mustang build that you guys are planning on doing, is there a goal in mind with that? Whether it's like take it to the drag strip or do road rallies?
I found out about this 2 days ago. So Dan,
So did I. So
so did your wife.
yeah.
I love it.
Shout out to Eric down at Midway Mustang. If you're into Fords and you want to buy a transplant engine, he buys wrecked salvage cars and parts them out.
You just raised your own prices. Nice one.
No, that's cool. I'll don't worry. Eric doesn't cut me any deals, so as the prices are going up anyway. It's super cool. I bought a lot of stuff off of him over the years, and he had a car he was getting ready to chop up, and sometimes he'll toss them out there and see if anybody wants it whole. And it seemed like the right price to me.
That's where you got your other GT500, right? Was that? Or was that
well,
Georgia?
Eric helped me source that car through somebody else. that was a car that was owned by another auto recycler that he was building the car to do one lap of America, the GT500 that I have I drive now. And then he got an allocation for a C8 Z06. Dang. And he said, you know what, I'm going to switch routes. So I bought the project from him with exactly what he had into it.
Gotcha. So we talked about big engines, talked about little engines, talked about flat engines. There's only one engine we haven't talked about. I need your guys' thoughts on it. Yeah, I need your thoughts on the old rotaries. Do you have any experience with them? Have you talked to anyone that's
we've talked
been
to
in the rotary
people
scene?
about them.
Sure.
The rotary shop would be a cool podcast.
We've had one. Is it one? Well, so we've had people on that have worked. Like, for example, one of our sponsors, like he started tuning on rotaries. Sure. Tuned by Sean, SHAWN.com. But no, also we had Antonio on, who exclusively works on Miatas and Mazdas in general. Sure.
And he kind of specializes in the R8 Renesis.
The Renesis of all things.
Yeah, right. So
because like I don't know if you guys are familiar.
Even most rotary guys just say that's trash.
Yeah. But there's like apparently like some magical rotary combo, which I can't speak to the details of, but like it's some combo between the Renesis and then whatever the
irons from
like a REW,
yeah,
like the RX-7 like FD ones, or
yeah. So it's just some weird magical combination that just works really well and just allows you to flow better and all this stuff. Sure. No, it just seems that they're still gluttons for punishment. It's like the people
put them in the Subaru crowd.
That's fair. Yeah. That's fair. But it is the same mentality. Yeah, we know it sucks, but they're so good.
But that's exactly what it is too. It's like if you can take the punishment, it is one of the best driving experiences you can have too. Like it's just. I don't think we've talked to anybody that hates them.
I have tracked a single turbo FD. Ooh. And two rotor, and it was.
You drove that car on a track?
I did.
Oh,
that little track down in.
Oh, that track.
Yeah. So track is.
Piero almost killed you.
Yeah. And it felt a lot like my car.
Sure.
It was probably half the horsepower, but the power to weight and the balance of the car was great, right? So I was like, I didn't really feel much of a difference, other than that was manual and it was great. And
I bet that car would be awesome with some more like modern stuff, because that's like a 20-year-old build. Like he did the same thing. Like who was it that we were talking to beforehand? Like literally the guy when he sold it, he's like, "Here's my Google Drive of all these documents from these servicing, and here's the builds and the parts were all like 20 years old." Yeah. And it's like
it needs a T56 though, because the trans was still, I think, the stock one or original one built or whatever, and it's very weird and it's not great under a certain RPM.
Gotcha.
And as I'm banging through gears, I could see him wincing every single time. He's just waiting for it to blow up, and I'm like, "You said I could drive it."
Yeah. I just asked. I owned an RX-8 for quite a while, and that was like
I almost bought one in Detroit last time we were there.
They're
I love that
fun cars, man. Like it was like one of those like childhood like dream cars, like growing up playing the video games and stuff.
It looked awesome when we were kids.
Yeah, I'm like, that car is freaking cool. It sounded so weird because I didn't know what was going on. I'm like, it sounds different,
like a Briggs and Stratton.
Yeah. So it was like, I had the opportunity to get one, and I was like, dude, it was like $6,000. It only had 40,000 miles on. I was like, yeah. Let's freaking try it,
cheap.
Yeah, like let's see what happens. And dude, that was like my favorite car that I've ever owned. It was such a fun car, dude. It was just something about like how smooth it was. Like old guys fucking loved it. Like I'd roll up to a gas station.
That's your audience.
Yep. Dude, old guys love rotary engines, dude. They will sniff them out and they will come talk to you at every gas station. Maybe it's because you're always at a gas station because they're like 10 miles a gallon. But like, dude, we would. I drove it to Tennessee and back when we went down for a car show, and literally like every gas station we stopped at, like. Never failed. Also, hey, that one of them Wankel cars? And I'm like, sure is, dude. And they'd come over, they'd talk me about they had like a snowmobile back in the day that had a rotary engine in it. They thought it was the coolest shit or something, along those lines. But dude, it's such a good driving car. And that was another one that we, started to see pop up like at the tracks more,
Yeah.
Like people are, the RX-8 chassis is a super good chassis.
Well, isn't it too? You're saying the factory like suspension geometry?
Oh, it's insane.
They did a really good job.
Chassis wise, they just nailed it with that car. Apparently,
it's awesome.
So driving experience compared to your FRS, because I've heard same thing about that.
I'd put it in a similar category, but like what the RX-8 has going for is that, like, obviously it revs out so high. So it's like, why people love the S2000s. Like, you can just rev it out forever. It's like, yeah, the RX-8's got, 9,000 RPM red line or whatever it is. So it's like, it just goes and goes and goes and goes and goes. Like,
We're not worrying about a crankshaft at that
no,
point.
yeah. And it's just all the driver feedback that you get from the sound of the engine, because we had like no cat on it. It was, pretty much just open exhaust. It had a Gretty exhaust on it. So it's like, you get the sound from it. It revs out forever. It revs out super high. Sounds super unique. Like, it's so smooth, like, with the engine. Like, you don't get, like, any vibration or anything.
Shoots big flames.
Shoots huge fucking flames. Like, it was just all the feedback that you got from it was a ton of fun.
So if you had to choose between the FRS and the RX-8, okay, hold on. There's one caveat here.
Yep.
Which one would you EcoBoost swap?
I'd EcoBoost the FRS all day.
You think that's the better platform for that then?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think swapping non-rotary engines into rotary cars is a sin.
Oh, that's why.
He's one of them guys. Which
I can't wait to buy it off the Elkhart and LS swap it.
I feel like EcoBoost swapped RX-8 would actually go hard though.
It probably would. Oh yeah, I guarantee it would.
It would be
hurt
sweet.
my heart a little bit.
And I get it, and I respect it too, especially after you having it, like keeping the rotaries in them, keeping them alive.
Yeah.
I do respect.
Well, if you have it already, you have to, right?
Exactly. You're gonna at some point or another.
You have to have those blinders on. Like, there's reliable stuff over here. No, I don't see them.
No, that's all right. You can have it.
EcoBoost swap the Mark 8.
Like I said, I
Sound like
tested
that's the issue.
Yeah, no, it's not.
More like ECU swap it or fucking
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Body swap it.
Yeah. Chassis swap.
I would genuinely like. Again, I just want something that has warranty right now so I can focus on growing this thing. I don't know what I'll get into next for a daily. I test drove the STI the other day, or not the STI. They don't have STIs in this generation, I don't think. A 23 WRX the other day, because that's apples to apples. And I really did like it. I thought about it, but again, getting back into that cushy interior, I don't know. So I don't know what's next. But I don't foresee this one sticking around for long.
For sure.
Fair enough.
Sure. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on the podcast. We appreciate you so much. And where can people find you?
Minnoxide everywhere. Got a garage for Dan for whenever he posts on there.
Yeah, I lax on it. I'm an old guy, right? So I bring some experience to this and
Personality.
I think I've got a pretty decent personality, but I try and do my own social media stuff, and I am garbage.
Yeah, that's all right. That's all right. We'll make sure to link all of that in the description for you guys to go check them out. So
Yeah, go show them some love. Thank you
do
guys.
post every once in a while if you do want to come look.
There you go.
Right.
Yeah, you at Kowalski's.
Yeah.
I want to see just a sea of fox bodies. I want to see that photo.
He has that photo.
Okay, yeah.
He has that. What is it? 9 fox bodies like just sitting.
Yeah, it might be more than that. That was like 10 years
that's
ago.
a dated
though, so
one.
that's-
Yeah, at least
right.
10 more.
And no, that was just the cars that I was able to roll out there. There's lots of parts cars.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll see you guys on the next MartiniWorks podcast.
All right, see ya.
Thanks for having us.
You want the homie hookup on some rubbers, and I'm talking about tires, head on over to Martini Works because we have Continental, Pirelli, Michelin, all with different rebates, and they're pretty dang good. So buying tires isn't the fun part, but having new tires is super fun. It makes your car feel actually planted and connected to the road. So when's a better time to get them than when you can get a rebate on them? Head on over to Martini Works, get the homie hookup, and get a nice rebate on a set of Pirellis, Continentals, Michelins, and even more. Go check it out.